Welcome to Lineups and Lures, where the talk runs from the dugouts to drift boats. We're all about the games we play and the waters we fish, the stories, the rivalries, the moments that keep us coming back. If it happens under the lights or out on the water, we're in. This is Lineups and Lures. All right, now the wild card weekend's over. Let's get into divisional round. First of all, wild card weekend, probably the best football weekend of the year. I'm not going to say best sports weekend of the year because I think that the day one of MLB playoffs and some Stanley Cup stuff is pretty epic. But being able to sit down last week, watch all those fantastic games. This week, division round, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. Everybody's watching. Does it get any better than this?
No, this is why the NFL is the king. This is these 2 weekends back to back are they're pretty much every middle-aged guy's best weekend of the year. So you sit down, you put some meat on the grill, you crack a cold one if you're so inclined, and you hang out with your buddies and you watch some football, you yell at the TV, and throw a couple bucks on the game to keep things interesting. And it's amazing time of year.
Yeah. All right, let's go. We'll go in chronological order. So Bills Broncos in Denver. Weather is not going to be a factor.
Yep.
Denver comes out at a -1.5 favorite to start the betting lines. How do you think this one goes?
I've got him at just a half a point, so it's basically even money.
Yeah.
So before we talk about the game, I want to talk about the scheduling just a little bit. Buffalo might have a bit of a sour taste in their mouth going. The Denver's coming off the bye, and Buffalo had to play Sunday and then got the Saturday game, which, look, it's the NFL, it's the playoffs, and I get it. But, I don't know if that extra day of rest is a thing or not, but I just wanted to throw that out there, and because I know people are going to be talking about that. But
and if you do think about it, you have 2 West Coast teams, Seahawks, Broncos. Those could have easily both been the late games, Saturday and Sunday. And then you have your East Coast, Bears, Patriots, Texans. Those could all be in that early window. Everybody's happy.
I think the one thing that I will say is that I think the NFL was also cognizant of the fact that San Francisco, Seattle is not a problem on national TV, and Matthew Stafford and the Rams is not a problem on national TV. So I think I think it also worked out better for just crowds. And if you're in Denver, you're playing at 3:30 local time, and Seattle playing at 5:00 local time. I think for the fans, for the players, I think it probably provided the best possible time frame for the actual football game, which I'm actually happy to see that maybe they actually considered football first, not just television. And quite frankly, I don't think it mattered who played when on this weekend. Everyone's watching.
Yeah, everybody's watching.
Everyone's watching.
Yeah.
So, let's get back to Buffalo, Denver.
Yeah. So this one could go either way. I mean, I think the difference is will Denver be able to stop Buffalo's rushing attack? That's going to be the key to this game. And I got to think that Sean Payton's going to come up with a pretty good plan. I mean, the guy's been around for quite a while to at least slow him down.
Well, yeah, and they've had we're going to get into the age-old controversy of was the week off a benefit or was it a positive or a negative? I personally believe at this time of year it's a positive, but that's my opinion. And look, I'm just going to sit here and say that I think this could be, it's going to be one of the games of the year, and that's why we're playing in the divisional round. They're all games of the year. This is, in my opinion, this is Josh Allen's chance to put his name in history. This is the year he didn't have to beat Patty Mahomes. This is the year that, they weren't necessarily great all the way through the year. They had a few bumps along the road, but it appears that they are playing their best football at the right time of year. And I just think that this is Josh Allen's game to lose, and not taking anything away from Denver and what they've done. But this Denver team is a team that's only going to get better. We've talked about the salary cap implications that they're not going to have to deal with next year, so they're only going to get better. I don't know. I sometimes I think when you get to these games, I look to the quarterback position, and I just if you had to tell me Bo Nix or Josh Allen, I'd take Josh Allen at this current juncture in football, and I think Buffalo might get it done on the road.
I want to see Buffalo win because I think this is Josh Allen and their best opportunity to win it. But that teams coming off the wild card bye win it almost 86%.
Well, when you've had a whole extra week to watch film, get healthy, prepare, and obviously you're the home team to boot because that's why you got the bye week. There's a lot of factors in your favor there.
Well, and let's also consider, Josh Allen got beat up in that wild card weekend. He's banged up, so he's got to turn right around and now play a really good Denver team in Denver, and he's a big part of that run game. So if he's got to be able to keep that going. I just think that the Broncos may be able to pull this one off, but my heart is telling me I'd like to see Buffalo win. I'd like to see Josh Allen go get to a Super Bowl. I don't want to see him win it because the Seahawks are in the playoffs this year, but I'd like to see him get to a Super Bowl. He deserves it.
Yeah, and it's as a fan, you want to use the terms like deserve it and stuff. I don't think anybody deserves anything. I think you got to go out there and win it. But I guess it's a little sentimental in this pick more than anything. If you were going to sit there and purely go on health, rest, like you said, home field advantage, all that, then it should be Denver by a mile. But I'm going to stick with my original deal and say when it comes to a game where it's really close, I tend to go with who's got the best quarterback, and nothing against Bo Nix. He's still very young and he's got a lot to learn. But Josh Allen is at the top of the mountain right now. He is the gold standard along with maybe two or three other guys in the league as far as quarterback play goes. And I just think he's a big, strong son of a gun. And, I think he wants to take that monkey off the back, and, the way he plays football, he's going to slow down over the years as he gets older and as he takes more hits, and 6'5", 245 helps a lot, but I'm going with the quarterback play. And I'm not discounting Denver's defense. I get it. I get all the other arguments. I'm going to go with Josh Allen this week.
No, I think you have to, unfortunately. All right, let's get into the next game on Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be there.
I will. I bought a ticket and everything.
Nice.
Actually, I bought 3 tickets. I'm going to take the wife and the kid. So
wow, thanks for getting a 4th one for me.
Well, I asked.
Hopefully we'll see you up there next week.
Yes, hopefully, but let's not put the cart before the horse. Let's focus on this one. Where do you want to start on this?
Do the Niners continue the run? Are they able to continue overcoming injuries at seemingly every position during this season? Are they going to be able to change the fortune that they had in the last game of the season in San Francisco, where they only put up 3 points? Do you think their offense has enough firepower to stay in this football game?
I don't think San Francisco fully healthy has a chance in this game.
Ooh.
I think Seattle has had 2 weeks off. They are probably going to be without their offensive and defensive coordinator next year, both of which were more than likely going to have head coaching positions in the NFL. I think these guys know that they're a part of something special, and they ain't going to screw this one up because you don't get here very often. I think Seattle is healthy at the right time of year. I think that defense is. I think that defense is in the conversation with the Houston Texans defense, and I think that George Kittle not being there is the final straw that unfortunately. And, nothing against the Niners, but, if you took JSN, if you took, our left tackle, if you took, Walker and Chardonnay out of the game, I mean, at some point, there's only so much you can do. And that's where I'm at on this one. I mean, Vegas has got Seattle over touchdown favorite. I don't know if this game will end up being a blowout because just knowing the way the Seattle plays football, they're going to continue to run the ball, shorten the game with the clock. And, but I could see this being, 20-3, 17-3 football game. And, that's what I see. I mean, I think Seattle wins in all phases. I mean, their special teams, I believe to be the best in the country. Their defense is arguably the best in the country. On paper, it is the best in the country. And I think the offense has enough there to score 17 to 20 points, and I think that's enough. I think this is old school Seahawk football. We've talked about it forever. Ground and pound them to death in the first half. Get a turnover, get that pick, get the right field position, and win dirty at 17 to 3. And I love it. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think we might see a little bit of a replay of the week 19 game. I mean, I think or week 18. I think you're going to see a Seahawks defense that is going to dominate. I think if we can bottle up McCaffrey, that's the whole key to winning this football game. And Darnold not giving the football away. If we can protect the football, if we can keep McCaffrey from going wild, which again, with Kittle being out, I think that's a huge blow to their run game. I think the Seahawks will probably be able to control this football game the entire game.
Yeah, no, I fully expect, if not a dedicated spy, definitely some sort of shade to one side of the field. I'm not sure if I'd use even Yori as a spy because he's too explosive on moving him around the field. But you could definitely see either a Will Backer or one of our defensive backs just basically have the role of wherever 23 goes, you go with him. So I think they will have a game plan to take McCaffrey out of the game, and I'm just not sure that they can. I just don't see San Francisco being able to score enough points. I mean, I just don't. So I just think Seattle's going to do Seattle things. They're gonna run the ball. They're going to control the game. Even if they do go 3 and out, I mean, their special teams operation. I mean, we saw what Dixon did in that San Francisco game. I mean, 55, 60 yard net punts and flip the field every time. I mean, it's really hard to go 80 yards in this league. So I think that's what Seattle does. Like I said, I think they win dirty at 17-3.
Oh, I totally agree. Let's hope that comes to fruition. All right, okay. Moving on to Sunday. First game of the day, Texans-Patriots.
This might actually be the actual best game of the week.
Oh, I think the next one could be pretty good, but I think this one might be the best defensive battle. I think this is going to be a low-scoring football game, which probably means it's going to be a blowout or a shootout. But
every time you say that, it happens, right?
But this is two really good defenses going at each other. This could easily be a 17-14 type of game.
So, I'm going to bring it back to the quarterback. You've got two young guys. And I think whoever plays better out of Drake May and CJ Stroud wins the football game. You can always turn around and go, well, whoever wins the turnover battle, yada, yada, yada. But I really think it's going to come down to, does Drake May or CJ Stroud take this game by the scruff of the neck and act like a Super Bowl quarterback? And that's what I think. And I think that's going to be the difference.
I think the difference is the fact that New England basically has 3 running backs. I mean, you got Henderson, Stevenson, and May that can all run the football very effectively. Mm-hmm. I think you take that 3, they're going to be able to control the clock, control the game. And I think that's going to be the difference is what New England can do on the ground.
Well, and I think there's one other thing that we also need to monitor, and that is the health of Nico Collins. He did bang his head on the ground, was taken into concussion protocol last night. And, you take Nico Collins away from that Houston offense, and he is a Pro Bowl wide receiver. So I think we need to monitor that very carefully, because that is a game changer. I mean, he is the straw that stirs that drink on the offense. So I think that needs to be monitored closely. Looking at everything I've read this morning, he's in concussion protocol. There's been no definitive word one way or the other. So we need to monitor that closely. I think that's also a huge storyline in this game. So, I mean, we can sit there and we could dissect this. I mean, we could talk about this for 3 hours on, is it going to be, does Houston get to the quarterback? Does New England get to the quarterback? Does New England run? This is why these games are so great at this time of year. It's going to take somebody to do something special. And in my opinion, I think it's going to come down to who plays better, whether it's Drake May or CJ Stroud. And you could also argue that the answer to that question could also be which defense gets home to the quarterback. So there you go. There's my take on that one.
No, I totally agree. All right, on to the last one.
Yep.
Frigid Chicago, 17-degree game time, they're saying. Rams, Bears. I hope that this is a really good football game.
Okay.
Because I would love to see the Rams not have to play Seattle again. I'd love to see Chicago. Just saying.
I was thinking the same thing.
I mean, I think we match up. It's a great matchup on paper. Like, it's two very evenly matched teams, but Matthew Stafford is the difference maker in that football game. So I'd prefer to go after Caleb Williams and a first year head coach. But what do you think is going to happen in this game? Like, what?
I think it's very telling that the Rams are a 4.5-point favorite on the road on a West Coast team going east. And if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know, look, the Rams are a professional outfit, from their owner to their general manager to their head coach to their quarterback to their wide receivers to their offensive line. I mean, that's one hell of a run outfit. I mean, they are the real deal. It seems to me that in every game or two, Stafford has a drive or two where he seems to take a drive off, which is really hard to say that about a guy who's more than likely going to win the league MVP, and deservedly so. Look, I will be rooting for the Chicago Bears, and I should be careful about doing that, because sometimes when you have these things, it ends up coming back to bite you in the backside. I guess there's also a part of me that says if you want to win the Super Bowl, you got to go beat the best. So, man, I gotta take the Rams, but Chicago has kind of been the underdog all year and just quietly comes back and we won again. So I'm taking Matthew Stafford and the Rams, but I will be rooting for the Bears.
Absolutely. I think this is kind of what we talked about last week with Aaron Rodgers and being his first year with the Steelers. I think if I would have given him a little bit more of a chance if he had a full season, 2 seasons under his belt with all of his receivers, with his coordinators, with the head coach, like I would feel more comfortable. I kind of feel the same way with the Bears right now. I think if this was year 2 of the Ben Williams offense, Caleb Williams year 2 with the same coordinator, the same head coach, I think the Bears could pull some tricks out of their hat and really give the Rams a run for their money. But if they fall behind in this one, which has been their trend all season, I mean, they look like garbage in the first half. And then all of a sudden in the second half, they make some adjustments. They get on a roll, and they make it almost every single game competitive. I don't think they can do that against this Rams team because Stafford's not going to allow it. But
and I think the other thing I'm going to say on that point is, we go back to the Green Bay game. And they rolled the dice. They didn't convert on a couple of fourth downs. We had the conversation earlier about taking the points. I think the difference in this game is if you go for it on 4th and down, Matthew Stafford's going to make you pay for it. And the Rams are going to go turn around and put points on the board, and you give them short fields and you give them opportunities. I think you're going to. I think if Ben Johnson goes to the cookie jar one too many times, he might get caught with his hand in it, and that's I think the difference here. I just think, nothing against Matt LaFleur and the Green Bay Packers, because that's a storied franchise for a reason. But right now today, I'm not sure there's a quarterback in the league right now today that anybody would take over Matthew Stafford.
No. But he does have a sprained index finger on his throwing hand, and it's going to be 17 degrees. So he's probably going to have a glove on.
Well, we're going to have to see. And that's a fair point, because, he did bang that hand on a helmet, I believe, not once, but twice.
Yes.
So, hey, that's that's something to watch too, right? So, these are all the things that, it's funny how, this is what happens when you get to this point of the year. It's the bangs, it's the knocks, it's the bruises, it's the, all those things add up. So this is why playoff football is awesome. So, assuming that is not a problem, then I would take, I'm sticking with the Rams. Now, if it comes out that, and we're going to know on the first drive of the game. I mean, Matt Stafford throws one of the tightest spirals, and he throws absolute bullets. If that ball isn't sailing the way it should be, well, we're going to find out real quick. So, yeah, I mean, that's why it's great at this time of year.
No, it should be a good football game and a fantastic way to close out the weekend.
Absolutely.
Thanks for listening to Lineups and Lures. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to rate, like, and share the podcast. It helps us reach more fans, more anglers, and more stories worth telling. We'll see you next time, whether it's out on the field or out on the water.